On the evening of April 12, the final episode of Buried Hearts, starring Hyung Sick, officially concluded, sparking intense debate over its ending and leaving audiences pondering the true meaning of revenge, loss, and redemption. Achieving a peak viewership rating of 15.4%, Hyung Sick and Buried Hearts proved their massive appeal. Yet, the real value of this drama transcends numbers. It plants a lingering question about the nature of suffering and the limits of human endurance. When justice is no longer pure light. On the surface, Buried Hearts follows a familiar blueprint: the hero topples the villain, and justice is served. However, what sets this drama apart, and makes it haunting, is the way the creators guided Seo Dong Joo's character, a man fueled by resentment, but also a victim caught in the whirlpool of human greed. Throughout his vengeful journey, Dong Joo refrains from killing Professor Hyung Sik's son, the man responsible for ruining his family. Instead, he opts for a far more harrowing punishment, imprisoning him in the Daesan vault, forcing Hyung to live day after day surrounded by the very wealth that symbolizes his greed. Every meal delivered, every set of clothes provided, is not just sustenance, it is a slow, psychological torment. When Dong Joo finally leaves, handing over the vault password to Yoon and abandoning Hyung to legal justice, the drama doesn't shout victory. Instead, it leaves a hollow ache. When justice is achieved, why does it still hurt? Buried, a metaphor for endless desire. In an interview, Hyung Sik revealed a deeper layer of the story. Everyone has something they want to bury, whether it's career success, money, or secret ambitions. Buried Hearts is not merely a story of revenge, it's a journey of confronting insatiable desires. Professor Hyung Sik's son, the antagonist, clearly embodies endless greed. But inversely, Dong Joo is not guiltless either. He buries himself in hatred for years. The moment Dong Joo hands over the vault password is more than a simple transaction. It is an act of letting go, refusing to let ambition and revenge continue to imprison his soul. He chooses to walk away, not as a triumphant victor, but as a spirit struggling to heal. An incomplete death in the prospect of a season 2. One of the most controversial details was the death of loyal Tae-yoon, pushed to his death by Ji Sun-woo just before the finale. To many, it marred the sense of justice they yearned for. Even the righteous were not spared. Yet, a more nuanced audience sees this differently. This death is not a period, but an ellipsis. The drama does not end with sweeping catharsis but leaves dark residues, enough to hint at a potential season 2. When Dong Joo boards the yacht, gun in hand, he is not simply running away. He is caught in a battle within himself. Will he end the pain once and for all, or will he find a reason to live again? If a second season materializes, Buried Hearts could delve into Dong Joo's rebirth, his return to a changed world, a scarred self, and an unfinished love story with Yoon, the last fragment of hope in his shattered life. Hyung Sik's complex inner journey. Seo Dong Joo marks a stunning turning point in Hyung Sik's acting career. Shedding his familiar rich prince persona, Hyung Sik transforms into a man heavy with silent agony, torn perpetually between good and evil. The actor confessed, "While filming, I spent a lot of time reflecting on myself, which desires are worth pursuing, and which ambitions must be abandoned." That profound empathy breathes life into Dong Joo, a character who is neither entirely good nor evil, but painfully real, much like every person in the real world. Closing thoughts: when forgiveness is harder than revenge. Buried Hearts succeeds because it dares to shatter the typical expectations of a revenge narrative. It does not celebrate grand triumphs or paint justice as an absolute cure. Instead, it digs deep into the dark truth of vengeance. Sometimes, righting wrongs only deepens existing wounds. Dong Joo, after all his losses, finds no satisfaction in victory. What he truly needs, and what proves most difficult, is to learn how to forgive his enemies and himself. Burying is not merely about fleeing from reality. It is about hiding the most vulnerable parts of ourselves. But only by daring to unearth and confront them can we truly move forward. Buried Hearts, despite its controversial ending, leaves behind a lingering, bittersweet resonance. Can humans ever truly heal after losing everything? Perhaps, the answer is still adrift somewhere, carried by Seo Dong Joo's solitary sailboat across an endless, uncertain sea.